Okay, let's get it going. Yeah, real-time finance, finally. Let's do it.
Okay. Hey, everybody. I'm Matt Gardner, co-founder and CEO of Hiline, and I want to thank you all for joining today. I love that you're interested in the topic that we're covering. We're going to kick it off. I'm going to talk about the monthly reporting problem, and there's a whole bunch to unpack there. And the key reason that I started the business 10 years ago has been really trying to tackle this problem, and technology has actually helped us start to finally do that. It's a lot to cover there. Megan's going to talk to us. She's joining us from Digits. She's going to cover the AGL technical foundation, why the AGL changes everything. And Katie and Megan are going to give us a live demo of Digits and what the power of the AGL actually looks like. And we'll wrap it up with just talking about the benefits of Highline and Digits partnership, which we are very excited to be bringing to market together. Then we'll do a little bit of Q&A at the end because we'd love to hear what everybody's thinking, what questions you have. And before we get into it, love maybe Katie, if you want to just do a quick intro for yourself and Megan, and then we'll get into it.
Yes, Katie Burns, happy to be here today. Currently serving as Matt's chief of staff, but I'm an accountant by trade. I used to work in our accounting team serving all of our awesome clients, and I am the first AIR certified accountant. So Megan is actually my instructor. She taught me everything I know. I'm certified on the product and loving seeing what AGL can do and how it's changing the market.
Yeah, it was so fun to work with you to become the first AIR certified accountant. But I am Megan Reed. I am from Digits. I am an accountant by profession as well, but now am in the training and firm enablement. So making sure that wonderful firms like Highline are up to speed and able to provide the best and latest technology in Digits to their customers. So super happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Okay. Katie and Megan, are you ready?
Ready?
Oh,
Okay. Let's do it. So I think AI is changing everything in the world right now. It's super buzzy. We're all hearing about it. It doesn't matter what your business is, what you do. AI is definitely forcing every business to think about how they work, how their operations work, and how they can optimize for better efficiency moving forward. What we haven't seen a lot of is how is AI helping further the world of accounting? And there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of technology, a lot of products that we've looked at that promise that AI is going to change the way that the thing gets done. And the majority of the time, it kind of falls flat and it's not there and it's not actually solving the core problem. So it's time for us as an industry to catch up so that we can focus on providing better outcomes for our clients. So the reality is like your finances should run at the speed of the rest of your business. Your business shouldn't be running super fast and you're waiting 3 to 4 months or 3 to 4 weeks to get the reporting for how your business is actually performing. Um, I kind of teased this at the beginning of the call, but when I'm a lifetime accountant. I was a CPA for 10 years. I did different work in the early stages of my career, but when we started Highline, um, we felt really strongly that the SMB market was really underserved. There wasn't a lot of good options out there for the support they needed, which was really operational support. They didn't need heavy compliance support. They really needed somebody to help them run their business, help them run the back office function, help them run financial operations. And um, 10 years ago, it was like kind of tough to figure like, how do you outsource this? Like everybody like, kind of in a remote environment. Sometimes you're in person. The technology is kind of just getting developed. It's just coming along, but the pieces didn't all fall into place. It was very difficult to like actually do it and actually do it at the speed that would help our clients make better decisions because that's why we exist. The accounting and finance function exists to support the revenue generating functions inside any company. And our job is to make sure that you are empowered to make the best decisions possible real time with speed to make sure that you can stay out ahead of the things that you're challenged with every single day. So even today, 89% of financial leaders are still making critical business decisions every single day based on incomplete or inaccurate data because they're still waiting for their accountants to close the books. And I understand why. I'm not saying that in every single case, like we still don't fall victim to it ourselves, but we realize that it's not good enough and it needs to be faster. It needs to be sped up. And technology is a key enabler for how we're going to do that.
No more getting the
So
bugs on me.
no more getting the bucks on the 20th. So the future of financial operations is actually here. Like, I truly believe we are at an inflection point where like this is becoming possible. And I actually think it's moving faster than most people realize, the art of what is possible, what good looks like, and what actually can be done today. So the old roadmap for finance and accounting, and this is still where most businesses are still today, monthly close cycles. And we're going to just unpack that for a second, because I like to play a game with our team where I'm like, well, who decided that monthly was the thing? Like, why is it 12 times a year?
Yeah.
How did we pick that cadence? Why is it useful? I understand that you need to have a start and an end point to a period. You want to be able to measure performance across a period. Monthly kind of makes sense, but monthly was like, I am imagining 100 years ago, some people sat around a table and decided like that was going to be the thing. We were going to do it monthly. And I think it's actually possible that like you can start to think about, what if I could do it every day, every week, in between months? Like, I just want to get access to how my business is performing right now, even if it's 90% directionally accurate. So historically, it's been monthly close cycles, a lot of manual categorization, right? You can kind of visualize the stereotype of the accountant kind of going through a bank statement with a blue Sharpie and checking off all the things and making sure they all got in the system. Um, that type of thinking requires a lot more people to scale. You get a lot of reactive bookkeeping, right? Accounting by definition is the recording of history, and that literally is what you're doing. And you end up in that scenario, you end up with 2 to 3 week lags on getting your financials, which, right, like, they may be accurate, they may be right. There may have been a lot of energy and good intention that went into making sure it got done. But at the end of the day, like, we feel like our clients are losing out because it should be a better way. It should be done faster. Modern technology has come far enough that we can actually solve for this today. So the new gold standard moving forward, where I think everybody needs to think about getting to, is your books are pretty much updated daily. I mean, a general ledger system is basically a database. It's a database of all of your financial transactions. And you're transacting every single day, probably every minute of every day. There's a lot of systems that you're working through, but ultimately there's no reason why data can't flow more real time into your financial system, your general ledger, so that you can get access to it and you can visualize that more real time. You should be thinking about, with the power of technology, a company like Digits and the AGL, 96.5% accurate automation categorization, no more manual transaction processing. You're able to scale without adding headcount. And I think this is relevant for companies that internally have finance teams. Like, you should think about how I can do more with less. And for companies like Hiline, we should be thinking about how we can empower the really talented people that we bring into the organization, make available to our clients. How do we free them up to use their talents to the best extent they possibly can, making sure they spend less time doing manual transaction work and more time actually working with our clients to understand their businesses, solving real problems, and providing advisorship, catching issues in minutes and not weeks. Like, if you're finding errors in your books 2 to 3 weeks after the month's already ended, like, that's not good, right? You're maybe looking at something that wasn't a good reflection of what your business is actually doing. And you should be able to visualize all this stuff real time visibility to a P&L. Forget about whether or not it's a month, a week, a day, a year. You should be able to get access to what's happening every single moment, should you choose to do that, to make a decision.
I'm thinking a lot, Matt, about how all of our financial systems are connected, right? They all have API integrations in the back end. We're all using bill pay invoicing functions that have real-time data flowing through those every day. And the gold standard we want to get to is all of that is getting recorded in the GL every day at the point that it happens. So then at the end of the month, like, the goal is we are doing very minimal work there to close anything up, right? Like, every day, if your revenue and expenses are hitting your books,
Yeah.
should be good to go.
That's right. And that should become table stakes in the future. And that's always been the dream. Like, I struggled for a long time. Like, we've directionally been built internally at Highlight. We've built with a lot of technology. There's been RPA has been around for a long time. Low code, no code technology has been around for a long time. You can stitch together solutions to try to replicate some of this, and you can augment that with like good internal manual systems. But inevitably, like, it was going to get easier with technology, and you can actually now do that. And to Katie's point, That's what we have to, that is a new standard. That's the bar I think that we need to hold ourselves to. So Hiline plus Digits, like what are you getting? Real-time accounting powered by an expert team and world-class AI, letting the technology companies build a product and a technology that's going to make it easier for us to do our job. And people who understand systems, they understand, to Katie's point, how the systems should be integrated together, how to use those technology solutions to our advantage to make sure that we are always up to date, to make sure that we are spending more and more time actually advising our clients, actually helping them make decisions, actually helping them make sure that they have peace of mind. And our clients are developing financial acumen through every single encounter they have with us. We're not just talking about, what's this transaction? You didn't submit a receipt for this. What's this invoice? I don't know what this. So those are those conversations I think tend to become monotonous and a waste of time. And you kind of fall into the cycle of like, this is just how we work together. That's not what we want to do. We want it to be very engaging, very efficient. We want to respect our clients' times and make sure that every encounter is extremely, extremely valuable. So when you pair the two solutions together, ultimately what you're getting is a solution that is highly tech enabled, that is very tech forward. That's our job, is to think about, how do we make sure that you've got the best systems in place possible to run your business. We want to make it easier for you to do business and easier for you to do business with us. You end up with a solution that's generally going to be a 60% cost savings versus hiring in-house. We've done the work to make sure that you've got the best technology solutions at your fingertips. And we've curated a system, and we've wrapped a system around the technology to make sure that you've always got real-time reporting, and our work is always on, and you always have directionally accurate financial information at your fingertips whenever you want it. At Highline, the industries that we really specialize in, that we love to work with, we know the solution that works really well for SaaS, for agency model businesses, for nonprofits. We love nonprofits. It's become a really nice niche for us. Software development companies, generally any B2B services organization, content creators, and even franchises, we found this has become a really nice solution.
Yeah, the other thing that's coming to mind, Matt, is like business owners in the old way of doing things, get a black and white P&L. It's like, if you're not an accountant, of course, as a business owner, you get used to that, but that isn't really giving you information that's really, really helpful. You want to see it in a way that's like digestible and you can visually understand it. And that's something that you guys are able to provide with Digits now too, which is really cool.
100%. That 100%. That's why the initial draw at the Digits for me is, we're thinking about, what does the future at Highline look like? It's not just checking my boxes as the person doing the accounting. It's making sure that the user experience, the customer experience, the way that we are empowering our clients to engage with their numbers is super, super important. And I think Digits has done an incredible job building dashboards and reports that are very intuitive, that are hover to discover. You can see what's going on anytime you want. You don't have to send emails asking, what's this, what's that. It's made it very, very easy for you to ingest what's going on inside your business.
Totally. Yeah.
And last but not least, why is Digits AI native general ledger changing the game right now? I think Megan is going to get into some of the technical aspects of that and a demo so you can see for yourself. But legacy accounting systems, generally speaking, what they're doing is they're kind of just taking a Camry and they're dropping an aftermarket motor into it. But at the end of the day, it's still a Camry. Most of the general ledger accounting systems that exist today, they've been around for 25 plus years, and they were built with archaic architecture. It was modern at the time, but it's no longer modern. And a lot of these companies, like they've become so big and their client bases are so big, like it just gets really tough to steer that ship and to rebuild it with modern architecture today. So I think Digit's advantage is it's been built with modern architecture from day one. And I think that gives a tremendous competitive advantage. Generally speaking, the old accounting systems that have general knowledge, they know accounting, opaque outcomes, static learning. It's kind of like loose leaf paper with a pencil. I would say that's kind of what most of those systems are like. Digits AGL with an AI native ledger. We talked about the architecture. It's been purpose built for finance. It's been purpose built with the best technology available. It's been trained on $825 billion worth of real transactions. The models have the ability to learn your business instantly. your vendors, the patterns inside your business, flags low confidence items for humans so our team can focus on the things that generally require manual intervention because it's not 100%. You still need folks who are trained in accounting and finance and understand the numbers, they understand how it works, and they can make sure that those items get addressed because those generally take time. They generally take a conversation. They generally take some type of consultation. We want to focus more on that stuff. And it improves every transaction and make sure that everything is being done correctly so that our very talented, experienced accountants don't have to worry about the fact that this stuff is getting done. They can trust the systems are doing the work that is easy to do, and they can focus on the stuff that's a little bit more complicated and the stuff that requires more human touch and like face-to-face interaction with our clients. So now that I've kind of pumped it up, Megan, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about digits.
Yeah, thank you so much. Love it. So let's dive into, Matt kind of gave a brief overview, but let's dive into some of the nitty gritty. So the technical foundation, what is digits? What does it mean? So traditional accounting systems, as Matt mentioned, were not built for the AI era. They treat transactions, they just store transactions and don't have the ability to really understand your data. But Digits was built completely differently from the ground up. We have proprietary models that, as Matt mentioned, have been trained on over $800 billion worth of transactions. And our architecture natively understands each piece of your transaction data. So therefore, it has the context and ability to understand your unique business and apply that to the AI and how it's categorizing your transactions. So kind of like, what does this mean for you? We have, of course, like I said, we can understand your business and then it gets smarter and it learns from the expertise that Hiline is providing to you and your unique business patterns. So really like with Digits and an expert accounting team like Hiline, Digits is going to continuously get smarter and smarter to be able to give you real lifetime accurate financials. We can dive into some more of the like, what does this mean from an AI technical perspective? And what are we saying when we say we're AI native and we're AI native accounting? This I know is pretty technical. So of course, if anyone has any questions, but let's dive in. First of all, like our data model, like I mentioned, is built completely different. We build a semantic knowledge graph of every business. So as we said, rather than seeing each transaction as just like a random string of text, Digits natively can understand your vendors, your customers, your bank accounts, and your expense categories. So let's say, for example, you have an Uber transaction and then you have an Uber Eats transaction and they look very similar. We can actually look at each piece of text and the dollar amount and learn and know what is the difference. Okay, one should be travel, one should be meals. We can actually understand that information. And then our models have secure direct access to all of this context. So we're not shipping your data off to OpenAI and we never hallucinate. Accounting is predictive and it's not generative. So our model architecture eliminates any chance of hallucination. And we'll dive a little bit more into this and how it handles those unique instances that it's not sure of. But all of this is then done by our agent. So this keeps all of the data live, real time, as your transactions come in as well. And then I'm going to pass it over to Katie. You want to dive in together? I can kind of share my screen.
Yes, that sounds awesome. So most operators check their finances the same way every week. Open the dashboard, squint at some numbers, and then email their accountant with questions. By the time you get the answers, the data is already stale. So we're going to show you what real-time finance actually looks like in practice. And we've got Megan sharing her screen now, and we're going to start on the live dashboard.
Yeah, so this is the homepage. As a business owner, when you log into Digits, this is automatically where you'll be taken into. You can come into here every day, every week, as much as you want, and this is going to be kept up to date with key metrics and KPIs. So here in your dashboard, you can see revenue and expense analysis. You can see visually how, let me actually go back to a month view. I look at this month. I'm looking at October. You can see your runway, your burn, your cash flow. and essentially any details that help you understand how your business is performing and make those business decisions. Um,
And you can also hover. All of this it's
yeah,
all live, right? You can hover over any of it. You can drill in
yeah,
detail behind any widget that you see on the screen.
exactly, exactly. So let's say, for example, you're like looking at your dashboard and it's October 23rd, and you're like, wow, my software expense is really high for this month. What is going on? You can actually like click in to any of these modules and see the detail that underlying that providing that metric for you. So I can see here all of my transactions for the any time period that is making up that amount, and I have this real live time. So I don't know, let's say I'm like looking at this and I'm saying, oh, this Apple bill, maybe it was for some cost of revenue or it wasn't related to software subscriptions or something else. I can actually click into here. And not only could I directly change it if you knew what it wanted to be, but if you just want to let the experts, Hiline, take it over and you want to tell them some information, you can collaborate directly in product with your team. So let's say I was like, Katie, please update this to cost of revenue. I can collaborate, she'll get a notification, and we can do everything directly in product.
Yes. Awesome. Do you want to show them, Megan, how, if you were to change that, how you can see all of it flow through directly to your dashboard if we want to change it to color?
Yeah. So let's say Katie comes in here and she's like, okay, perfect. I'm just going to easily select, let's, we hadn't created the chart of account, but I'm going to easily select this revenue. And like I said, for your accounting team, adding categories is as simple as that. Save and close, done instantaneously. I come back to my dashboard and I can see that this has now decreased by that amount. And that's all kept just done automatically as well.
That's awesome. And then you can see that comment that you left for the accountant, right, in the inbox as well.
Exactly. So if I were to come over here and look at, let's say, like all of my comments, what may have to, here we go, one second. Yeah, oh, I was in assigned. I'm sorry. We have different, I can see from what I have assigned to somebody else, since I commented it, it was not in my assigned to me. It's in my open or watching. And so then you can track across your whole entire business, like what am I waiting on information from, or what am I waiting for? What have I asked my client, my accounting team? What have they asked me? You can basically manage all of that in one easy spot.
Yeah, one thing that's really nice about this too is it takes it out of your email inbox, right? We are collaborating directly at the transaction level. We don't need to go into our email and say, hey, Megan, I saw this charge. Can you change it? Like you comment right in product and those notifications are going into your inbox, your email inbox anyway. So it's super easy to address into comments.
There's a need for email, right? You're gonna need to email when there's a lot of context and there's something that you need to talk about. But sometimes these quick hits where you're just kind of trying to collaborate on your working relationship with your account, like this makes it really easy and it keeps the clutter out of your inbox.
Exactly. And your accounting team doesn't have to send you long Excel files or spreadsheets that you're trying to keep track of. It's basically you get both the like context and the information that you need to see in one spot, which is just really helpful for both you as a business owner and your accounting team.
Yeah. Another thing to highlight, Megan, I'm going to have you go and just show under the accounting tab kind of where all the transactions live. There's no such thing in digits as like a queue of things that are added to your general ledger yet. So the idea of your bank feed where you have to go through and categorize everything is gone, right? Everything is in your GL real time, except the couple things that the AI wasn't sure how to categorize. And those are flagged for you in your inbox. So everything is real time. Everything's coming in from all of your tech stack that you're already using. You can see like the Gusto and Mercury transactions are flowing in as they come into your bank, they're flowing into your general ledger. There's no more waiting around until the end of the month to get everything categorized.
Exactly. And then with that though, like we understand that you as the business owner or your accountant has the ultimate expertise. So not only do we like flag those items that we're not confident in to get that knowledge and that training from the accountant, We also give your team the full ability to like easily update something. So let's say your unique business may handle specific transactions a very like specific way. We give Highline your accounting team the ability to just be like, oh no, this business wants to treat this as maybe R&D expenses or whatever it may be. And with the ability to like bulk update anything as well. And then we learn from that instantly.
And so
Awesome.
this seems subtle, but it's a big deal because what it does is it changes the conversation between Highline and our clients. We're not talking about what is the thing that we're trying to account for. We now can start to talk about what does it mean? What does it mean for your business? Let's talk about what's going on. Let's not try to go back and try to recreate history, which is it's subtle, but it's really, really powerful and allows us to focus on the right things when we spend time together.
Yeah, exactly. So, as Megan just showed you, right, your dashboard is updating continuously and in real time. You don't have to wait to the close. You've got like 95% plus directionally accurate financials every single day, especially with the AGL. And you can drill into any number to get your questions answered or ping your accounting team to ask the questions for you. And the AI is learning every time you make an update, the AI is learning from that, even if it's already categorized something itself, which is super cool. And this is what it means to run finance at the speed of the rest of your business, like Matt was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I think what I love about the dashboard is it's real time because it's updated all the time, right? It's not static. We're not sending you something that like you have to worry about. Is this 2 days, 3 days stale? Like this is up to date all the time. Changes can be reflected real time. In my opinion, this is the right altitude for a business owner to be flying at in terms of how they are trying to keep a pulse on what's going on in their business. P&Ls and balance sheets and cash flow statements, you need those things. The reality is accountants love those things. Business owners, generally speaking, like that's not necessarily the language that you are taught to speak or need to speak every day. Like you should understand how to read them better over time, but just looking purely at financial statements, that is the love language of the accountant, and that is our job. But we have to make sure that you can ingest and understand your business in a way that meets you where you are. It makes it easy for you to grasp it because even as a young accountant, I'll be like a few years into like a trained accountant, even reading a balance sheet and a cash flow statement, it's very, very difficult. There's a lot to it. And it's not necessarily going to give you, I think, what you would like to understand about your business in any given moment.
Definitely. And with digits too, we do give you your financials at your fingertips. You can easily access them, but we just give like the additional information that really, as Matt said, helps you understand what's going on in a way that's like nice to look at and easy to digest as well.
And the financials are great too. You hover Discover, you get all the same features that you get in the dashboards. So those also become easier and easier to ingest. But I really like the dashboards for most of our small business owners who are really just trying to keep a pulse on what they need to be focused on. Generally speaking, cash flow is a big part of it.
Yeah. Like, cash is king.
Cash is king.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay, Matt,
Okay,
I'm gonna turn it back to you.
turn it back to me. Okay, so what does this mean? The AGL certified partnership advantage. So we announced this a couple of months ago, but Hiline was the first AGL certified firm. What I love about this, there's like such a backstory to how we got to know Digits. We've been working with Digits. I'm going to say it's probably been over 3.5 years at this point. We've been trying to solve for this problem for a very long time as a company. And sometimes to do that, you have to put a lot of energy into forming the right partnerships. You got to pick the right horses. You got to try to, who's trying to solve the problem in a way that we think is most compelling? Who's got the team that we think can actually deliver on the promise? And we felt very, very strongly about the team at Digits from day one. So we've invested a lot of time with them, informing some of how the product got built, helping them kind of navigate through how to make this like super usable for accounting firms and business owners combined. So it's been 3.5 years at this point, and we've been very, very close. We have a very, very close relationship with the entire team of Digits, all the way up to the CEO, Jeff Seibert, who's an incredible guy, very, very talented. So For us, this has kind of been the dream. We've been trying to get to the point where we feel like we could finally do it the way that we always envisioned that we could, and we're very grateful to Digits and everybody in the Hiline team who's invested all of the time to get to this point. So I think I believe very strongly that this is inevitable. I think that this is what the world is going to come to expect when working with an accounting firm or trying to ingest and handle your internal accounting and finance. And I think that this is kind of day one of what the rest of eternity is going to look like. So I think that together we've kind of set the gold standard for AI native accounting. Um, what that means when you get Digits and you get Highline together, you get the AGL, you get Digits technology. We talked about all the benefits of all the technology that they used, and what this allows Highline to do is it really allows us to empower our team, our financial and accounting experts, with the right tools to help them eliminate time spent on transactional work that's low value and start to reallocate and repurpose their time on higher value tasks and relationship building and counseling with our clients. So we think about Highline's expertise as the strategic intelligence layer that sits on top of Digits and the other technology solutions that we use. We really want to be a small business strategic advisor. Like that's the goal. We'd like everybody in our team to understand how to use these systems, to understand how to use them for their benefit, and spend all of their time to the extent that it's possible, really with our clients, making sure that they're getting the best outcomes that they hope for. We have the industry specific expertise and guidance. We know the industries we work in really, really well. We know what good looks like. We know how to give our clients the right advice and counsel to make sure that they're making good decisions and they understand kind of where their business is sitting and performing against their peers. Um, we also have complementary services too. We have tax compliance services, and that's also helping optimize tax strategy for our clients every single day. We can also couple that with HR and payroll oversight and support. So we're really trying to cover the entire office of the CFO. It's really all about taking all of the information, whether it's accounting, it's tax, HR, and payroll related. Like, how do we turn those in to data-driven strategic decisions that are going to help our clients build a better business moving forward and deliver maximum value? Like that is the goal, and that is what we're trying to build. So what does this mean for you? Really want to ask everybody to like think about it, like where do we go from here? We want you to move from this. Like you hired a legacy accounting firm. There's tons and tons and tons of them. There's roughly 50,000 accounting and bookkeeping firms out there in the United States. There's another $45,000 licensed CPA firms. Many of them offer similar services. It's a very fragmented market, but I would say very, very few of them are as forward leading as Highline is in making sure that we're really leading with the best technology and making sure that our clients are getting access to the best technology to make their business function better. When you hire a legacy accounting firm, generally it's going to take 3 to 6 months for them to learn your business. You're going to get a lot of the manual categorization and constant re-explaining because they're doing it the old-fashioned way. And you're going to have to repeat that learning curve with new staff. And that's hard. That's hard to avoid because it even happens here sometimes because without the right technology, like you lose the context, and there's the opportunity for us and our clients to make sure that context is never lost when you use the right tools. So we want to move to a world where it kind of feels like this when you start working with a new outsourced accounting and finance firm. Week one, we're technology experts. Like we do the setup, we take of all of the procurement and setup. Week one, expert setup and AI training begins. Months 1 through 3, the models are learning your patterns. They're learning about the transaction data inside your business. And our people are constantly learning how your business functions, what makes it special, what do you care about. Ongoing, you're getting expert review to ensure accuracy and compliance. Systems are getting smarter with every single transaction and never forgetting. And you should be getting ongoing strategic advisory that starts to evolve with your business from startup to scale up and beyond. We really are trying to build a system that is going to make it easy for you to do business with us, and it's going to scale with you as far as your ambitions take your business in the future. So call to action and invitation for everybody. to think about moving beyond monthly finance to build a smarter, more resilient financial system that grows as fast as your business. And I think with that said, is it time to jump into some Q&A questions?
Yes, let's do it.
Right.
I know Liz just sent a note, but feel free to drop any questions in the chat. We've got some pre-submitted ones as well, but I think I'm going to start and have Megan answer the question Amy put in the chat, which is, how does the AGL know how to wait for a bill to match versus just recording it to COG automatically? Great.
Yeah. Yes, that's a really great question. So a couple of ways that we could solve for this. Our AI does know how to and will automatically match a bill with a transaction that's coming through your bank account. We have a full built-in bill pay product that if you choose to use, that will all be done automatically. But we also have native integrations with tools like Bill and Ramp, where we'll bring all of that information in. And so as that's brought in real time, and then the expense comes through your bank account, our agents automatically know and have the ability to match those together to ensure proper categorization, with, of course, giving you and your accounting team the access to if something, manually match something or manually unmatch something, as you would see in any legacy system as well.
Yeah, great.
Good question.
Yeah, really great question.
Do we get a thumbs up emoji if we answered the question adequately?
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Amy says thumbs up.
Love it.
Oh,
Thank you, Amy.
here's another good one that was pre-submitted. So how does Digits ensure correct, clean numbers prior to reconciliations and month-end close? Isn't there a danger of making decisions based on erroneous real-time figures?
Yeah, this is a really great question. And I would say, honestly, something that a lot of people in this AI world are like curious about. And so a couple of ways that we address this. First, we have a over 96% first pass accuracy, and that's because our models have been built on proprietary information. Like we said before, not like shipping it to OpenAI and just letting it hallucinate and get anything. We also will flag our low confidence items. So our AI knows when it's really confident in something and then when it's not. And so if it's not sure on the categorization, it actually flags it for you for Hiline to review and give their like stamp of approval, and then it will learn from that instantly. So we not only learn to like get better and better and better and more accurate, we also give the team the tools to basically give their stamp of approval on anything that we're not sure of. And then you get your experts like Hiline to, review month end and make sure that everything is done correctly as well.
Yeah, but I also say too, like if I'm understanding the question the right way, it's really a systems and a data thing. Like if the information is not making its way into the system, it means it's missing. But a tool like Digits has been built to make sure that never happens, which is like one of the key principles behind the whole thing. Like if there is a world where you're transacting in a system that has no connectivity to your general ledger and it's not getting in there, that's actually a problem that needs to be solved. And a tool like Digits is going to help ensure that doesn't happen because it's all hitting the general ledger all the time. The systems have all been completely integrated together. Sorry, my light just went off in my office. New office, automatic lights. So that's the point. You want to make sure that the data is flowing all the time from all the systems that are critical to your financial operations.
Definitely. Yeah. And then, of course, you guys go through and there's a month end reconciliation process to just double ensure that that is happening. But yeah, you basically have the directionally correct financials at your fingertips at all times.
Awesome. Okay, Megan, let's talk a little bit about where we see the future in getting some of our nonprofit customers onto AGL. I know there's
Good
class
questions out there.
reporting that just came out and budgets are coming soon. I know there's a lot on the roadmap, and we are getting to a place where we can get nonprofit customers on this AGL product.
Definitely, definitely. So we've just launched our dimensional tracking, which is like classes, locations, with projects, that sort of thing. And then our team is actively building very, very soon to be able to have in-product budgeting as well. But today, like if that, of course, we still have the ability and give you and your accounting team the ability to export any data from digits if that's needed for any reason as well. But we are actively and very, very soon going to be a great solution for those nonprofits.
And what Hiline does today for all of our nonprofit clients, because the class or department reporting feature is really important, because we want to be able to track the accounting by program, really, at the end of the day. A lot of them are still using a QuickBooks product, but we've moved all the reporting into digits, so they're consuming all the information within digits. And we've been working really closely with digits to understand and help them make sure that, like, when and it sounds like classes have actually, like, very recently been launched, like, it now has a capability to do that. And in the not too distant future, I think that many of our clients and a lot of our new nonprofit clients moving forward will be looking very closely at Digits AGL as a better solution than what they currently have today. So it's all sitting in one place. We don't have to augment it with reporting.
Definitely.
Did we answer some of your
Did we answer any
nonprofit?
questions on our nonprofit?
Give us some of
No thumbs up yet.
Yeah. Okay. Jason's got a lot of questions. So I don't know where you want to start here, Megan, but I know custom metrics. I want to say there's custom widgets you can make in the dashboard.
Definitely.
Or that.
We have several different metrics that are available. So the dashboard I was just showing you is essentially just like our standard dashboard that we give out. But that is fully customizable and editable. So if you go in and edit it, you can actually have tons and tons of different metrics that you populate into there. And you can also create multiple dashboards. So let's say you wanted to have, an overall cash dashboard, and then you wanted to see how your your travel dashboard or your marketing dashboard, you can create different ones with different metrics and KPIs. And we, of course, work very closely with Hiline. So if there's something that you or your Hiline's not seeing, we really take into account what our great partnership with Hiline has to say to help make sure that you have everything you need.
Yeah. One thing we were talking about actually this week in a meeting is just setting up different dashboards for different departments, right? So each department can monitor their spend in the product. You can set one up for your growth team, your R&D teams. They can see all the expenses that are flowing through their department and how that's all tracking against, plan and budget.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Technology solved for transition from cash to accrual. I don't think that's something that Digits is doing right now. I don't think QuickBooks, I don't know that anybody's really doing this with the technology solve. At Hiline, we do a lot of cash to accrual conversions. We recognize there's usually a space in your business life cycle that transition makes sense. Digits was built for accrual-based accounting. Megan can probably talk
I love
about that.
Yeah, we were built for accrual-based accounting, but there are ways within Digits to kind of like, if you are a cash basis client, to ensure that their books are kept on cash basis. And that's essentially done in partnership with your accounting team and how they are reviewing and, making sure that everything is in the system. We also have like metrics and ways to easily see like, okay, this is my cash basis types of financial, this is how it translates to accrual. But as Katie said, there's not like a one-stop click. It's kind of how your accounting team performs the financials and reviews everything as well.
Yeah, I think cash basis accounting is, my opinion, is really only useful for tax purposes anymore. I think anybody who's getting their bookkeeping and accounting done on a cash basis, it's generally because it used to be that it was harder and more expensive to do it on an accrual basis because it was all manual. Well, like, there's really should be no reason why you can't keep everything on an accrual basis when your systems are connected. You just need to be able to convert it to cash basis to do a tax return. I don't necessarily think there should be a big cost discrepancy in the future with better technology between cash basis accounting and accrual basis accounting. There's nuances to it. It's not intended to cover 100% of all of the use cases out there. but I do think that technology has made cash basis bookkeeping kind of silly.
Agreed. Okay. Cool. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. You like marathon military?
Question.
Jason, I
That is
think we're
great.
LinkedIn friends. I feel like I've seen a lot of your content. So thanks for joining.
Okay. And Megan's got a question about dual
Double
currency.
thumb.
I believe multi-currency is on the Digits roadmap right now. It's a single currency platform solution.
Yes, correct. Right now, we do just operate in USD and US, but multi-currency, like Katie said, is on our roadmap, likely for like later next year, probably.
Awesome.
So, Megan, don't forget about us totally. Hopefully, you could come back and we Highline can use Digits for your business in the future.
Okay. Any other questions you guys want to drop in the chat?
Thumbs up for Megan.
Any more there's any pre-submitted questions that we didn't cover, Katie?
I think we covered a lot of them. Yeah. Real-time visibility, hallucinations. Yeah. Reporting out to the board. I think we covered a lot of them. So I might give us some time back.
Yeah.
And
I would say just also kind of on the reporting piece, like out to the board, like if you can actually share individual reports and individual pieces of Digits with external parties. So let's say, Highline prepares your financial package, your custom report within Digits. You can actually share just that with your board or your investors or whoever it may be without giving them full access to the Digits platform. So that's a really great way to collaborate with your team and have different controls and things like that throughout the product.
yeah. Great to share with investors and the board.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think on our second to last slide, I think if you're interested in learning more, there's a link you can click through to book some time with us. If you want to learn more about Hiline in general, hiline.co, Digits in general, digits.com. We hope that you enjoyed the webinar today, and thank you for joining us. And we hope you'll join us for the next one, which I'm sure will be in the books very, very soon.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.